Okay, welcome back. We've got the market, which is, holding steady, but not building on or not galloping away. Mitesh is with us for a quick check on, what he's making of the sort of price action so far. Mitesh, over to you. What are you picking up, and what would you want to put out as trades now?
Prashant, good morning again. We've kind of nearly met the targets of 18,150. That was the level where the market had peaked out on 18th of January, and then again on the 24th of January. So I think there could be some profit booking in there for a couple of hours of stall over here, but the overall structure remains very positive. So I expect 18,250 to be tested in the next 2 to 3 sessions at least, and maybe even earlier. So I think stay positive. Take some profits off if you want to if you want to book something, but otherwise stay with the long bias very clearly. I have 2 IT names as recommendations right now. LTI Mindtree, that's a buy with a stop below 48.40 for targets of 5,000 plus, and LTTS, which is again last in into technology services, that's a buy as well with the stop at 36.90 for targets of 38.20.
Okay, got that, Mitesh. Thanks for the quick calls. Market's holding up quite well. Let's focus on some of the stocks that are really hitting the headlines, and the Adani Group of stocks makes it to that list once again today. Vivek is joining in to once again recap what MSCI announced, basically the pushback that they've done, not looking to change weights on some of these Adani Group companies, at least not in February, right, Vivek?
Absolutely right. So in February, what's actually happened is that, post the announcement by the MSCI, 2 stocks, especially Adani Transmission and Adani Total Gas, all of these stocks were continuously hitting the lower circuits. So, in case of an example, you saw Piramal Pharma earlier that was deleted from the MSCI index. However, the funds that track the MSCI index changes were unable to implement it simply because, because of the stocks were already at the lower circuit limit. So citing the same criteria for Adani Transmission and Adani Total Gas, MSCI deferred the implementation to the May review. Now, as far as Adani Enterprises is concerned, the weight reduction will happen, as per what MSCI has done. However, there is now going to be a special treatment of all of the Adani stocks within the MSCI index. So, in few of the funds, however, when you're talking about the MSCI Standard Index, the fund that is tracked the most, in that the weight reduction will happen in Adani Enterprises, and a little over $180 million of outflow is what analysts are anticipating will happen, at the end of February.
Okay, got that. That's quite helpful. So $180 million of outflow is roughly what's estimated. Thanks, Vivek, very much for that. Well, that's, of course, the Adani Group. The other one, of course, is this move on PI Industries that continues. Again, let's look at the conference call highlights. Sonal, so what is it that the market's really liking, which is powering the stock today as well?
Well, the fact that they're maintaining their growth guidance. In fact, they're expecting a 20% growth in their revenues, and they will be able to maintain their EBITDA margins between 23 to 24%. This is at a time when other companies are talking about exports being challenging and higher raw material prices as well. Additionally, the company saw working capital reduction of almost 400 crore rupees in this quarter. Cash flow from operations on the back of this increased substantially, came in around 700 crore rupees versus 120 crore rupees. Their export order book continues to remain stable at that $1.8 billion mark, and they are not seeing any slowdown in exports, which is, of course, a big positive as well. The domestic business, which saw just 2% growth in this quarter, will grow at double digits in the next year, and that is a positive as well. FY24 capex is at 800 to 850 crore rupees. In FY23, it was 500 crore rupees. So there's a big leap as far as expansion plan is concerned as well. Motilal Oswal has a buy rating with a target price of 4,300 rupees per share. They say EBITDA margin has been increasing from levels of 19% in fourth quarter of FY21 to now that is 25.7%. So they definitely like it. Nirmal Bang says that PI Industries, it is beefing up their pharma team of resources and is still working on pharma M&A, but still that is a positive. They are building organic CSM business and pharma intermediates, basically the export business. So that could be the additional margin lever as well. That's why the stock is higher in trade today.
Got that, Sonal. Thanks very much for all the details there. So PI Industry is quite a big mover, 5% on a 3% move yesterday. Not bad at all. Well, one more stock for you. Let's pull up Tanla Platforms. This one is surging almost 7.5%. Let's get in Rima to understand why. What's happening with Tanla, Rima?
Hi, good morning. So Tanla Platforms has announced that they will be launching Wisely ATP, which is an anti-phishing technology platform. Hence the name ATP. anti-phishing, technology platforms. Basically, phishing is when you have all these cyber scams taking place on your mobile phones via SMSs, emails. It appears to be that it's a trusted person sending you a link to make some payments, but it turns out to be a fraud, and then a lot of people are losing money. So that basically explains what phishing is. And Tanla Platforms, with this new ATP launch that they're looking to do, anti-phishing technology platform, they are looking to curb this. The launch will take place at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona on February 27th, but as of now, the patent is still pending. Now, this ATP platform, Wisely ATP platform, has already begun live testing in a regulated environment, which is called the regulatory sandbox. So the TRAI had approved the regulatory sandbox, which basically means live testing of these products, but in a regulated environment. As of now, the validation of the impact is in process, and simultaneously, the company is also in advanced discussions with 3 major banks in India to launch a proof of concept. So the street is excited about the prospects of this particular technology platform launch. But remember, one of the other reasons why the stock is also doing well, it's coming off a low base. The stock has slipped more than 60% in the last 1 year. Back to you.
Got that, Reema. That's a really interesting one, Prashant. I don't know about you, but this phishing business scares me so much. I've stopped doing any transactions. I've stopped clicking on any link. I tell my bank, I'll come to you in person and talk to you. Don't ask me to enter some OTP or click on some link.
It is scary, and one has to be extremely careful. And you hear anecdotally so many cases where people have lost money, and then of course have to kind of it's a uphill task then to try and figure out a way to get your money back. So better to be safe than sorry. We'll take a very quick break here. Market still holding with almost triple-digit gains, but our special segment, it's the economy, is coming up. Lata will connect with the semi